Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, thank you so much for joining us this week on the Game Romp. This week is going to be a special episode guest. And it's a big deal because we're not we're going different. We're gonna change things up a little bit. And we're gonna roll. Am I glitching out, or is it just
Yeah, we're losing you in and out.
Yeah.
This is awesome. Why is it still doing it? Am I just not?
Yeah, it's like it's laggy.
Yeah.
That's so great. So we're lagging out, and you can barely hear anything I say. And I'll just try to keep talking, and if it fixes itself, cool. If not, we'll cancel this. It's not going to fix itself, is it? What the hell's going on? Oh, I'm so mad right now. So, everybody, welcome to the Game Hump this week. We're going to do a role-playing session. It's going to be fun and exciting and awesome. Was that better?
Yeah, our audio's sticking around.
Oh.
Let's go with it.
Oh my god. But why is it doing this? Why is it doing this? We're live. We're live, man. Why would it do this to me now? It seemed like it was okay when we were just talking.
Extra strain on the internet?
I don't know. I don't get it. Maybe because I'm using a different microphone. I don't know. It's a better microphone. My sound should be better. Anyway, so welcome everyone to the Game Hump this week. We're going to do a game romp, and we're going to go into the mind of this guy right here, of Joshua Yeager. We're going to play a little bit, and I say play loosely, because really, this game is amazing. Cyberpunk, the RPG, the old school role-playing game of the dark future. I've always wanted to play this, and I've done a little bit of research on this, and I kind of have a concept down in my head about what the world is like in this cyberpunk world. This is basically a role-playing game from the 80s that came out, what the future looked like to them, 40 years or 30 years ago. 40 years into the future, though, in the 20s, the 2020s. Anyway, but what we're going to do today is I have two guests with me. I've got Tony.
Got it.
Hi, welcome back, Tony. And I've also got Matt. Matt is back again. It's been a while, Matt. How are you, sir?
I'm fine.
We are 3 weeks away from the biggest gaming convention in all of the country as far as gaming is concerned, and gaming by role-playing game, card game, board game, video games, the entire encompassing of gaming is involved at Gen Con. And Gen Con, it takes place in Indianapolis on August 3rd through the 4th through the 8th.
4th, yes.
4th through the 8th, August 4th through the 8th. And it's coming up. We're 3 weeks away. And honestly, Gen Con is pretty much a week-long event as it is. The entire downtown transforms itself into Gen Con utopia, gaming utopia. So, in anticipation for that, I've got a role-playing book here, and we're going to game. And I basically wanted 2 gamers or 3 gamers. One of our buddies here couldn't join tonight. So today is going to be more of an introduction. We do not have characters created yet. And when we actually do get characters created, they're going to be very slimmed down characters. We're not going to sit here and fight over the rules and have these massive characters with 2 or 3 pages where we're going to be going through all these different roles for this and roles for that. Screw that. We're going to be doing storyline based, very, very minimal amounts of battles, and other things like that. You're going to definitely have to roll the dice every once in a while to make a decision or to try to make some kind of impactful happen in the game to try to get through an obstacle, through a mental obstacle, if you will. But we're going to try to keep it easy and slim pickings and nice and smooth so that we can get through conversations and get through storylines. So, to open the world, and before we jump into that, how are you guys doing? Welcome to the show. Thanks for being a part of it.
Absolutely. Thanks for having us yet again.
Yet again. And don't forget, you can always check us out on Facebook. Look up Gamehuggers. Check us out on TuneIn. This is where we're at right now. TuneIn and Podomatic both simultaneously host our podcast every week for the downloadable version, so you can check those out. And of course, if you ever have any input for me, advice, criticisms, praise, I don't care what it is, shoot me in the butt with a tweet at Twitter @_ Joshua Turbo. Don't forget the underscore. It's super hyper mega important. So, cyberpunk, or the technical future, if you will, is a mix of like Shadowrun and just our imaginative future as it is. I'll read a little bit from the book here. As a cyberpunk, you grab technology by the throat and hang on. You've got interface plugs in your wrists, weapons in your arms, lasers in your eyes, biochip programs in your brain. You become the car you drive, the gun you shoot. With cyborged fingers, you pick computer locks. With enhanced senses, you see into the future. Now, the types of characters that I had you guys picked out to be were going to be sort of techies. Now, a techie basically means that you are a hacker slash kind of Swiss Army knife of the future. And your specific trade, and this goes for Matt and Tony, and we'll have to come up with character names for you guys as well, but your specific trade is kind of odd jobs. You do random tasks for people. You have a... in this strange future, which we're going to go 10 years into the future, a darker future, obviously, it's going to be 2026, so 2026. And the both of you, you don't necessarily know each other very well, but you've heard of each other, so to say that, take it as you will. And you each have augmented visuals. So in your eyes, you have had cybernetic implants put into your eyes. What does that mean for augmentation? You basically, and this is something that's very, very popular, I would say about 80% of the populace, at least 80% of technical people in the future, have augmentation in their eyes, meaning that they see advertisements, that if they're in a car and they need to go somewhere, they can like say it out loud, like drive me to whatever, and you will start seeing a navigation in front of you that has like an arrow on which way to turn. You'll see like stats. You'll see advertisements at times. You will see storefronts. In the future, in 2026, a lot less companies actually do traditional billboards or signs on top of signs in front of their businesses. For sale prices on things, like if there's a big sale going on in their store, they don't print out billboards anymore, do anything like that, because they just put little codes on their walls or on their glass displays or on the streets, or street signs, all kinds of things, and people's augmentations improvise those, or the system improvises those from the internet, and you are able to see what the sale is, what the sale price is, where to go, what that business name is, what street you're on, things like that are all in your eyes. So it's a very different world that has happened to us in Earth. And this is just, and you guys personally right now live in Japan. So you're both living in Japan as techies, kind of, you've mastered many trades and you do odd jobs. Anything from fixing tech to stealing to kidnapping. Matt's character specifically has done kidnapping before. I don't know if either of you guys will be murderers technically, but you've been in a lot of fights, a lot of scuffles. So that's kind of painting the background. Now, let me think here. I did not take any notes or write anything down, and this is very rushed, so I feel sort of bad. Trying to lay this out for you. Let me see here. So your specific character sheets. It's going to be similar-ish to D&D. So you're going to have your character's handle, your name, whatever you want it to be, a nickname, whatever, I don't care. You guys can make that up. And I'll send these to you, so the next time we do get together to roleplay, we'll have this set in stone. And maybe it'll be next week. I'm not 100% sure when we want to do this. And then what role you're going to be, and you guys are both going to be techies. And then we're going to have like hit points and then statistics. And there's a lot of different statistics that Cyberpunk has on their character sheets, but we're going to trim that down majorly. You're only going to have intelligence, reflexes, tech, and luck. And okay, so intelligence, reflexes, tech, luck. I might throw in wisdom, which isn't on here, but I always like the kind of the disparity between wisdom and intelligence. Like, you can be incredibly intelligent but have no experience, and you can be incredibly wise but have low intelligence. I always love that. That's a very interesting thing.
Street smarts versus book smart.
Exactly.
Yep.
Then maybe we'll call them street smart versus book smart. I like that. That's actually kind of cool. And I'll give you a little bit of a picture of what your character looks like. You've got several augmentations. You've also got some surgical implants. Matt's character, he has been, he's like, Matt's character in this world that I'm imagining, I needed one character that was sort of a loose cannon, that has taken on really weird jobs, dangerous jobs, kind of morally bad jobs. So you're kind of chaotic, neutral, maybe / slightly evil, Matt. Are you okay with playing a character like that?
Sounds good.
Okay, and you have so you have weapons that are long range weapons, and that's basically a gun that you have. Let me see if I can find one in here. Actually, there are different weapons. You carry grenades. You carry a rifle, an assault rifle, and the implants that you have are actually in your fingers. And so when you grab your gun and put your finger on the trigger, it will automatically take the safety off and be ready to shoot because of the implants that you have in your hands. If anybody else were to grab your gun and try to shoot, it would actually blow up on them or zap them or something. It's got some kind of a security theft device inside of it so that if anybody else tried to grab it, they'd be in deep, deep trouble. Whereas Tony's character is pretty much on the side of good. You're in your 30s. You spent the later teens and your early 20s in a police force, an academy. You studied police work. You worked in. So you have So Matt, not to jump off of you, Tony, but Matt, you have an AKR-20 medium assault rifle, common assault rifle for battlefield combat. You've used that. You walk around in a trench coat. You only bring it to the nasty jobs, but you do have it. Otherwise, Tony's character is well versed in weapons as well because of his work during his police years. But after he tipped off or was a whistleblower of sorts on some corruption inside of the police force, he decided it wasn't him. So he went off and became sort of a private eye / tinkerer / you're just trying to help people out. So, without having your actual character sheets in front of you, I don't know what your stats are going to be, and I can't see exactly everything in front of me here. I'm just darting through this. There's different cyber weapons that you have. You're very technical. Both of you are savvy. You both have augmentations in your eyes so you can see specific things that maybe other people can't see. Matt lives in a Japan 10 years into the future from a 1980s dystopian future is even more crowded now, or even more crowded than it is now. It's incredibly crowded. Tony spends most of his nights in things called capsule hotels. A capsule hotel is basically like a okay, you ever seen the movies The Fifth Element?
Yep.
Yes.
In The Fifth Element, they have those like beds that are on the flight to Fluston Paradise, and they're they're drawers pretty much. Tony has spent a lot of time in those types of hotels. He does have possessions, and he does have a storage unit of sorts where he keeps a lot of things, but he doesn't live in a traditional apartment. He kind of stays. So that way, if he gets called onto a job that's a couple weeks at a time, say in Akihabara, he can stay in Akihabara for a few weeks during that time. If he gets called back to Tokyo or something, he can go back and stay in those types of hotels. They're very inexpensive. They're about 1,000 yen a night, which is about $100, and he stays in those types of places. Matt actually has a very small apartment that is like 2 levels below a tower in just the outskirts of Tokyo, and so it's like 35 flights high, but it also has 4 flights underground, and Matt stays in the 3rd flight underground. It's a ratty, beat up, very small little apartment. Now imagine again Fifth Element, where Bruce Willis's character Corbin Dallas, how his apartment was, where it was sort of like in the dumps, They had a hallway outside there that was sort of like a subway-looking thing, and then all the doors for each apartment. And the apartments are basically one bed, one room. There's like a kitchen slash restroom slash fridge slash sink all in one spot there, and a bed that you pull down and you have it in there, and it's just beat up. It's just really filthy. He probably just comes in there to drink and to crash, and that's about it. And so it's an early morning. It's December, so it's slightly chilly out, and you each get a message that just says, "Looking for work. We have something for you. Please meet me at Mitsuru Sushi." And you guys both know where that is. It's downtown Tokyo. And he says 1 p.m. on it, and you're like, So you each know how to get to that spot. Tony's mostly a walker, and Matt's character has a bike. I wouldn't say it's like a full-on like Harley Davidson motorcycle or anything, but it's a very like Japanese style like kicker, crotch rocket type thing that he rides. So here's where I let you guys roleplay a little bit. Are you gonna meet this person that sent you a message saying he's got some work for you, or what?
Well, I know I'll at least hear it out, so I'll be heading down there and at least sell in the bar, try to see if I can at least hide in the corner and wait for this guy to show up.
Okay. Cool. How about you, Zimmerman?
I'll head down and cautiously meet with the person.
Okay. So, you guys head down there. You see the sushi bar. Very, very, very nice place. I shouldn't say very nice, because it's not. That doesn't make sense for meeting somebody for a job. But it's decent. So the Mitsuru Sushi place is not necessarily a restaurant where you walk into it. It's more of a sushi bar that's outside, and it's not like in the middle of the street, but it's like if there was a farmer's market on the side of the sidewalks where it's like an extended sidewalk onto the road. The sushi place is a bar. It's a oval shaped with seats around it, probably about 15 seats around it, and there's one sushi chef in the middle, and he's making sushi for people. Imagine, if you will, the intro to Blade Runner. I'm referencing movies like crazy. I'm so unimaginative.
No, those are the perfect ones to do, though.
You guys are... oh, come on, stop it. So, what I'm going to try here is I'm going to try sharing my screen. What's going on here? Why can't I share this? I'll do this, the entire screen. Sharing. Can you guys see my screen? Ah, what the hell?
Whoa!
Video inception.
Wow, that was ridiculous. What is that all about? Okay, let me try it again. Oh, I think I know what to do. Hold on. I'll try the same thing. Sharing, but I'll do this. Okay, can you see my guy?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, cool. So this character right here, you see him sitting at the sushi bar. And he's eaten. He's ordered a couple rolls of sushi, some nigiri and some whitefish. And you, Matt, your character notices another character kind of standing and pondering if he should go up and talk to this guy or not. And Matt, what is your thoughts? What would you like to do right here?
Do I have any indication that this is the person I'm supposed to meet?
He's the only one sitting at the sushi bar right now. So for those that are listening on TuneIn or as far as like Podomatic, this character has long blonde hair. He's got elvish ears, and he's wearing blue sunglasses that are more like shades or so. And he's also got a chain around his neck. Looks like he's also wearing like a trench coat with a popped collar. His blonde hair is kind of drenched over half his face, and he's longish, medium-length hair. And he looks kind of like a little bit gangster-like, a little bit shady. I don't know.
Shady big shot.
So Matt, as you're sitting there contemplating, you kind of see him looking around, and he makes eye contact with you, and he kind of smirks. Then he looks back down at his food again. You notice there's another character behind him, maybe 15 feet away. It looks like another techie type character, and then another character 7 or 8 feet behind him that's sort of glancing over at the situation and almost inquisitively staring.
I ask him if he comes here often.
He says, "Only when I have business to do." Are you Matt?
Yes. Are you the one who posted the job?
Yes, you seem like you've got some ambition. So I have something of a bit of a quest for you, and it's might be right up your alley. I did message a couple other people, but I don't seem to see them yet. And Tony, you notice these two are kind of softly talking to each other, and they're the only ones that have stopped at this sushi place so far. You also get this weird feeling that someone's kind of looking at you from behind, too.
Yeah, so about this time I've already looked and tried to start running some scans on them, see if I get any info out of them, or at least any hits on whatever databases I hook up to. But considering they're both kind of talking, I figure about this time, pay up, start walking that way, and just try to listen in as I'm walking by slowly.
Okay.
Hoping to catch at least the mention of the job or anything related to who's hired me.
Okay. So you start to walk closer. You get to just about 1.5 feet behind both of them talking, and he quickly glances over at you. Are you Tony?
Depends who's asking.
Is that zooming in and out?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, awesome. Yeah. So, so he says, "Don't be shy. If you are interested in some work with some major pay, you should sit down and we'll talk."
So I pull up whatever available seat and I'm listening.
Yep, they're like stools. So
Yeah.
So he starts to ask you guys if you're interested in work. It's going to take about 2 or 3 weeks, and if you're interested in traveling. And then you notice another character coming up behind you, and you hear a female voice, sort of half robotic with some tinny sound to it, and she says, "Is there room for one more?" So that was next to Tony.
So I'm just going to, since we don't even have a name on our mutual contact here, I'm just going to glance kind of over my shoulder and go, "Friend of yours?"
To who? To the guy who summoned you?
Yeah, to the guy who summoned me.
Okay. So before this encounter happens, he lets you know his name is Dave, a very original name, but that's what we're going with now is Dave. He just starts to explain it, and then this happens where the girl says, "Is there room for one more?" And Dave glances up and says, "Look, I told you there's nothing going on here." And you sort of get a feeling that they know each other and there's some hostility. She then says that she has all the evidence she needs to bring him in right now, and that he should come with calmly and not put up a fight, or else there'll be trouble. Matt, what do you do?
I I state that I just came here for some grub.
Just for some grub, huh? So she says that's an interesting alibi, and she doesn't have enough to bust you, but Dave here is coming with me unless he wants trouble. So then Dave stands up and he says, "Look, can't a guy get an honest bite to eat with his friends? We're leaving, and you can't stop me." Tony, what are you doing?
All right, time to play the ex-cop game here. So I'm just gonna turn around. All right, so who you with? Section 9, TAPD. I mean, what you got here?
Tony, do you have a 20-sided dice next to you?
Actually, I do.
Sweet. We're going to do something considered in the role-playing world as a perception roll. So she... Wait, not perception. It's,
Sense motive?
No, not sense motive. If you want to tell someone... I don't have it in front of me.
Like insight?
Not insight. You want to try to convince someone.
Well, deception.
Did you say deception?
Yeah.
Okay, let's try a deception roll.
Basically, since I don't know any of the agencies in the Cyberpunk universe, I'm throwing out names. Otherwise, we're just going to go with Ghost in the Shell references to like come up with something.
If you get a low score, those little names that you just dropped were very poor, and she's going to see through it. However, if you get a high score on your dice roll, she's going to be like, "Whoa, I know this guy, and I know this guy knows what he's talking about."
Yeah.
So let me hear your die roll.
So I think it just got masked here, but I threw a 15.
All right. Her eyes widen, and she says, "Oh, I'm sorry, sir. I didn't realize you were already working this area. Is everything under control? Do you need backup?"
Does it look like we need backup?
She steps back and puts up her hands and says, "Hold up. We got a badass over here." She walks away. She walks away without any real tension or anything. She just apologizes and walks away. And Dave quickly looks at you and says, "You see, this is why I need you, kid. You're going to be perfect. You're going to be perfect."
Well, if you're getting perfect, you better be paying for it.
Oh, believe me, Tony. And Tony and Matt, if you guys want to change your names, that'd be very cool. I'll give you guys character sheets, and you guys can change your names to whatever you want them to be. But for this first introduction session, just to kind of give you a taste of what this game's going to be like, we'll go with Tony and Matt. He says, "Tony, you're in for more money than you've ever scored before." So he walks over. You see a very, very nice-looking, sort of a Sportster type car. It has sliding doors that is very, very normal in the year 2026 in Japan. Lots of cars like to stay very compact. Parking areas, there's stacked parking areas as well, so cars are very small, very compact. The doors slide open. He says, "Please join me, and we'll go and we'll discuss the job." Do you both get in the car?
I ask him if she, referring to the woman, if she's going to be an issue.
Not if we've got some badge power here. He does admit, though, I mean, if you want to keep talking, you got to get in the car, though.
All right, I'll go along for now.
I figure I'll go along. I can always walk off this one if I don't like where it's going.
Okay. Matt, as you get into the vehicle, it explodes and you die. No, I'm kidding. As soon as you get into the vehicle, you have a security system that basically protects your bike that you rode in on, and it just basically, it's like pretend like Batman shields. Like you just kind of sit down, and as it knows you're starting to leave the area, it goes and it just shields itself, a cocoon around it. Like nothing can break it. They could try to detonate it and it wouldn't happen. Nothing would get to it. And you guys kind of just roll off together. And Dave starts talking about like the cops in the area may run some sort of a report against Tony's character. That woman that you guys were talking to was like 90% cyborg. She probably had cameras in her eyes. Everybody does, but she was probably recording for like surveillance systems. And she probably took his image, your image, Dave's image, and is running it through the system right now to find out who you guys are. Once they find out that Tony's not a real cop, they may send more reinforcements. These are just things that are running through your head because you guys have experience in this world and you know what's going on. And you know, you guys kind of drive off, and you're heading into sort of a slummy-looking area, but you're going down this alleyway. There's lots of gangers and different-looking people. Think of like punks, lots of mohawks, green hair, tattoos, implants, cyborg arms, people lost limbs and things like that. Lots of heavy music going on from around the area, and then a garage door opens, and you guys shoot right inside, and the garage door closes, and you're in this big open warehouse-looking thing with tons of vehicles, tons of people working on things, and it's very clean inside of there. Whereas it's an interesting contrast from when you were outside the garage door. It was very dark and dingy back alley looking, and now it's very clean inside. So you're like, oh, well, what the hell? And boom, that's where I'll leave you for the first adventure, for the first night.
Interesting.
So that is Josh's intermediate role-playing cyborg session 1. Intro, session 0, we'll call it. The next time we're hoping to have Meng with. Meng is going to play another character, and I'm not exactly sure when we'll do this next. But we could aim for... I don't know. I know in 2 weeks I've got a plan. I'm hoping to have Sarumaru on again, and we're going to talk really in depth about his new game coming out next spring, Engine. We're also hoping to have one of the main developers from that game on as well in 2 weeks. So if we wanted to do this next week, we very well could. And by that point, we'll be even closer another week with 2 weeks to go before Gen Con. So it's the mood. It's the mood that I'm in, and I want a game. I want to play games and stuff. So.
No better time to start.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts so far? Are you interested in continuing?
Oh yeah.
I am.
I'm a sucker for anything cyberpunk, so you can just sign me right the hell up.
Okay, cool. Awesome. So then we'll go ahead and keep this going. We'll see how far it goes. Cyberpunk, the role-playing game of the dark future. We'll go ahead and play that. And everyone that listened to this session tonight, I hope it was interesting. It's very much a change of pace from what we normally do on Wednesday nights at 9 p.m. Central on Podomatic, on TuneIn, and on Facebook, and also on YouTube when we stream these live. So check us out. Just do searches for Gamehuggers. We're all over the place right now. And actually, I'm sort of shocked. The last 2 Gamehuggers Wednesday nights that we did somehow went viral. We had last week we had Andrew Darovich on. From his name is Archon on the forums. Otherwise, he's from Aetherbyte. And then the week prior to that, we had a whole lot of people on, and we were talking about homebrew games and all kinds of other stuff. Anyway, both of those 2 game humps went incredibly viral. And we had over 1,000 views for each one of them. So I'm like ecstatic right now on how exciting this is. So
that's how you do it.
That's how it happens. They go viral and people get interested. So anyway, thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you so much for being a part of the show, Tony and Matt. I thought it was fun this week. And sorry for it being a shorter episode, and I'm also sorry for all of the chaos going on during this. We were trying to get this all together. But, until next time, everybody keep on gaming. And we'll be back, the Game Huggers, next time. Take it easy, guys.
Later.
Bye.
Adios.